Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bushcraft here with a little bit of story news or whatever you want to call it. This is kind of world news and stuff kind of related to a predicament we're in right now. But uh, you see these stories every once in a while and you don't think nothing about it. But the times we're in right now, all this stuff is quite important. But anyway. As the story goes, this happened Sunday. Um, on Sunday, a ship carrying nearly 16,000 sheep capsized and sank at its berth at the port of Sudan. All crew members escaped safely, but almost all the cargo was lost. The vessel Ali Bardi, probably getting that wrong, but began sinking at a pier, Sudan, in the early hours Sunday morning. The vessel capsized slowly, officials told The Guardian, which is where I'm getting this story from. And the crew had enough time to disembark. Only some 700 sheep escaped and survived. Lost of all the ship may affect the port's operation as well. Uh, Not to mention the environment from all the fluids, gas and oil coming out of there. But yeah, let's go ahead and let me flip over here real quick, and you guys can get a peekaboo at this going on here. There's a second one, and I don't see any sheep. I mean, you would think if 700 of them, 600 of them escaped. Where are they at? You would think you would see them trying to jump off there or something. I don't know. Here's another view of it. And the last view. And again, I don't see any sheep. I don't it seems like it took quite a while for this thing to sink, but you would think you would see some sheep over here or something. But yeah, losing all that, the sheep and stuff, you got to realize that in that area, sheep are a lot of money for them, the wool and the meat. Plus the port's going to be shut down for quite a while until they get that cleaned up and uh, raise it up and get it out of there or whatnot, because they can't leave it there because other ships have to dock right there. So there, that's a big deal, and a lot of this stuff is continuing to happen. So who knows? Okay, the next story. I can go ahead and show this one. This is not too bad stuff here. Here you see, yes, U.S. quietly. They make sure they put that quietly. Ask shipping companies to ship Russian fertilizer, and that's not all. There's a bit more to that. And you got to say we're the ones that led the charge to uh, put sanctions on Russia for this and that, and so they didn't make any money and stuff. Now we're secretly asking uh, Russia to sell us some of that stuff that we didn't want you selling, including the gas and oil and stuff like that. That's already been going on. Just recently, they stopped receiving uh, Russian uh, oil tankers in the Gulf of Mexico. They were, but story came out, and then they said, "Well, those are the ships that were waiting already. They had their schedule and all this stuff, and it's bullcrap." But yeah, but now when we want oil and stuff, uh, because we get it cheaper from them because it's like a 30% off wherever else we get it from. So We go out in the middle of the ocean somewhere or sea, and we unload it from one tanker to a, a allied tanker, and then it comes and we unload it here and use it here, refine it, and export it um, to other countries. So the government's still making their bucks. Trust me, they're still getting stuff, even though they're the big bad. We're doing this because they're being mean to Ukraine and all this stuff. Um, there's so much going on that you just don't see because they only want you to see so much. Um, you see like 10% of what really goes on outside of our United States here. And I'm sure it's the same way in other countries. They don't want you knowing what what they're doing. They only let you see so much on your media and stuff like that. And I'm going to go ahead and skirt down here just a little bit. We'll go down here to where the collateral damage. The U.S. push underlines the challenge facing Washington and its allies as they seek to increase pressure on Putin over his invasion, but also limit the collateral damage to a global economy. Yes, and we all know that Biden blames Putin for everything. His cornflakes are getting stale or something. Oh, Putin's fault. He's doing it. Uh, which is heavily dependent on commodity supplies from Russia, ranging from natural gas and oil to fertilizer and grains. Prices for all these have spiked further since uh, war has started in February, a point Putin regularly makes in his public effort to undermine support sanctions. And you got to, why are these things gone up? It's not that um, the prices went up. The prices went up on everything because of the sanctions that were placed, not because um, he doesn't want to sell them or anything, sell this stuff. It's the sanctions that were put on by him or the United States, well, Biden and the UN and all the other countries that did this. Even though they're dipping in all that stuff that they said they don't want out of Russia, but it's still getting out and we are buying it. Other countries are buying it. So what is the point of these sanctions? Um, to look strong and to look like we're helping the little guy out and whatnot. But I don't want to get into that part of the conversation, even though they $40 billion for whatever, plus $7 billion a month they want, and they still complain that they didn't get everything they wanted out of the deal. So, what does Ukraine have on the United States and other countries? Hmm. Could be some of those underground bases and stuff over there. Who knows? But anyways, where was this bit about? Oh, Washington sent a representative to UN-led talks in Moscow early this month. Remember, yeah, all the BS talk that was going on by Biden onto Putin and all that stuff. And here he's sending people over there. Um, yeah, UN led talks in Moscow early this month on the supply issues. According to people familiar with the situation who spoke on conditions of um, to discuss the matters that aren't public uh, indicated fertilizer deliveries this year could also affect next year. The White House didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Yeah, they're not going to talk about it. They're going to keep it out as long as possible until people like this website actually gets this information out, and then maybe our own media will pick stuff up like this. For Russia, it's important that U.S. authorities send a clear signal that these deals are permanent and in the interest of global food security, and they shouldn't refuse to carry them out, said Ivan Timofey. It's probably butchered that name too, but a sanctions specialist at the Kremlin found Russia International Affairs Council. But I'm going to go too much more into that. But basically, um, Russia wants to make dang sure that this is not going to be like, oh, we just want to get a little bit now and then we'll put sanctions back where they were. They want to make it permanent, and everybody knows that they are dealing with Russia, not try to do it under the table like they are now. So they want everybody to know, hey, you guys are dealing with us, even though you blabbed how bad Russia is and everything. Um, yeah. But anyways, we won't get into too much of that. But I thought that was a little important stuff. Kind of opens your eyes how our governments and stuff are working behind uh, what they tell the media to tell you. And yes, I said that right. What the government tells the media to tell us. Um, and that's the sad thing. I remember when you remember back, we'll go in the 80s when it was a big deal for newspapers and reporters to break a story. And if they got one little detail, 1% of a detail wrong, they would get shamed so bad that they would never work again as a reporter. And every story had to be thoroughly checked and made sure it was 100% true. If it was false, the whole newspaper company would go under, or um, news network, whatever the case would be. But it has gotten to where the mainstream media is just entertainment. It's a soap opera. Um, they'll tell you what sells more viewers, the more people they get to watch, the more ads get watched and all that stuff. It's all business. It's nothing to do with the actual news and stuff. And it's a shame. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. We've got a live stream later today at 3 o'clock. I hope you guys uh, come out and check us out. Me and Jeff will be talking about some good stuff. Until next time, like always, God bless.